Today I want to share with you a moment that I had at the weekend in which I was looking round for any straggling swallows. You saw them in one of the previous videos that I've done. And I was looking for the swallows and suddenly I heard a bird song that just stopped me in my tracks. And I just had to stop and I had to listen to it. I'm going to play that in a moment. But I learnt a very valuable lesson and was reminded of a very valuable lesson, that as the seasons changed, as people migrate, as the birds and everything around us starts to change, we do have to embrace that change. But most importantly, we have to stand out. See you in a moment. Now, as you know, we have swallows come to our stables every single year, and I always listen for the sound of the swallows to make sure that they're still about. Because over winter we close the stables up and we keep the pigeons out and other things that get in the way there. But as I was walking across and I had to record this, and I just want to play you, I heard this bird singing. Now I couldn't quite see it, but I knew it was there. Listen to this in this next 25 seconds of video. And for some reason it doesn't sound like you're going to be able to hear it. Oh, it's such a shame. Why is that not playing? I'm really sorry about that. I will try and load up the sound of this a little bit later on, because this bird singing was so sweet and he was singing his heart out. He was trying to attract other birds and potential mates, I should imagine, in the area, but it just stopped me in my tracks as I heard this bird. And I'm so sorry you can't hear it here. This is the downside of doing videos live. It's not quite played there. But as I listened to this bird singing its heart out in this tree, trying to see where it was, and I did find it, because I listened to its song. I searched through the tree trying to find it. What I realized was that no matter what our times are, whether they're good times, whether they're bad times, or whether they're indifferent times, whether they're neutral times, one thing I can assure you is that something is changing. There's always something around the corner. Now, we've had some significant changes over the last 18 months, but there's always something that is ahead of us. There's always change ahead. And as I listened to that bird, I realized that we have a couple of things that we need to do when it comes to change. The first thing is we've got to stop, okay, as I did. I heard that song. We've got to stop and we've got to look at where we are. We've got to look for help, okay? When things are changing, one thing I've realized after having a coach for a number of years in my own businesses and a coach now as a coach, but as a coach, I understand that where businesses need the most help with is in times of change. And you need that, because no matter whether those times of change are good, whether they're bad times that are ahead, or whether they're different, when we're incurring change, we need some help. And the other thing that I want you to think about today is not just stopping, taking a moment, and perhaps looking at where we can get help from, but also using one of the images from the last week's Monday's Moment, I think it was. We need to make sure, like that little bird did, that we stand out from the crowd. We've got to make some noise. And that noise needs to be something that, like the bird did back here, something that makes me stop in my tracks. That's what the noise needs to be that you need to make in your business. If there's going to be change, there's going to be opportunity. And if there's going to be opportunities to get ahead of your competitors, then you have got to stand out. And the best way of standing out, like that bird did, is to get your message out and sing your message with all your heart. Okay, now if you would like to sing that message and be a guest on my podcast, great. I'd love you to be able to do that. If you want to access over 600 people a day by being a guest on my podcast and sharing some tips and some lessons or some stories about your experiences in business, being a consultant, being a coach, or just being a business entrepreneur and business owner, then please message me and we'll have a chat about being a guest on my podcast. But the most important thing I want you to take away from today's Monday's moment is that change is going to happen. You know, just as the swallows have gone now and the seasons are changing, we can't stop that. But what we can do is we can make some noise and we can stand out. We can make sure we are the ones in those times of change that is putting content out there. We're getting our message out there. We're singing from the rooftops. We're saying how great we are. We're saying how we can help people. You know, we're making as much noise as we can, with respect, of course, but it's time to make some noise. And as many of us are coming out of various levels of lockdown, some of us might be going into lockdown, wherever we are in the world as we might be watching this, it's important that we stand out. And that's what that bird is. Just, I tell you, I can't tell you how this bird just stopped me. And I'm so sad that you can't hear the sound of it, because it just stopped me in my tracks and it just absolutely captivated me. And I had to stop. I had to listen to it. I recorded it for about 30 seconds. So that's what you need to do in your business. You need to find a way of spreading your message, getting content out there, and standing out for your competitors. Whether it's working on your unique selling proposition, whether it's just putting lots of content out there, whether it's shouting more and louder, whatever it is, take your opportunity to go out there and grasp the change that's ahead and stand out from your competitors. As you can tell, I'm really passionate about this, as I was. I help so many people in times of change, and any coaches out there are likely to be able to help you enormously in times of change. It's the best time to get help when times are changing. So again, if you'd like to be a guest on the podcast, or you listen to the podcast and would love to leave me a review, you can find the Business Success and Coffee podcast on all the platforms, Apple and Spotify. And I look forward to hearing more about you, seeing more of your content, hearing you louder and more frequently, and sing your heart out wherever that is during the week ahead. And I look forward to having you on next week's Monday's Moment. Bye for now.